If you are the most capable person in your group, you have already hit your growth ceiling. Lasting success doesn't come from fighting battles alone. It comes from standing within a network of talented, strategic individuals. These people expand your perspective, untangle problems when you're stuck, offer timely advice, and connect you to opportunities you could hardly reach alone. The difference between those who go far and those who remain stagnant isn't about IQ or where they started. It's about whether they are in the right circle. You can be highly skilled, but if surrounded only by people who settle for mediocrity, you will eventually be pulled back to the average. Look at successful American entrepreneurs like Steve Jobs or Howard Schultz of Starbucks. They share the ability to build a network of strategic allies around them. These relationships became the framework that propelled them upward and helped them maintain their position for many years. 5 people the poor don't have. Number 1. The mentor. Many intelligent people remain stuck in the cycle of overthinking, doing too little. They make detailed plans, imagine dazzling results, and even map out step-by-step roadmaps, yet never take action. The problem isn't a lack of capability. The absence of a guiding voice grounds them in reality. That is precisely the role of a mentor. A great mentor is like a map drawn by someone who has already walked the road you're on. They know where the potholes are, where you might get stuck, and how to shorten the journey to your destination. More than just offering advice, they point out what you can't yet see, both the opportunities and the risks. This can save you years of trial and error and help you avoid mistakes that could cost hundreds of thousands of dollars. Everyone needs at least one mentor at every stage of life, especially when stepping into a new field. A mentor doesn't have to be someone you meet in person. They can be the author of a book, a specialist you follow on a podcast, or a leader you learn from through videos. The key is absorbing their thinking process, experience, and decision-making framework. The focus differentiates a mentor from the influencers that poor people often follow. A mentor guides you toward creating value, not telling you what to spend money on. Poor people are usually victims of influence overload, getting advice on fashion, products, and trends, but lacking the strategic guidance that could change their lives. As a result, they know how to imitate, but not how to innovate or lead. A skilled mentor bridges the gap between how you think things will happen and how they unfold. They hold up a mirror for self-reflection and show you the better version of yourself you could become. The transformation comes not just from new knowledge, but from a shift in mindset that changes how you see the world. For example, Elon Musk has often said he learned a great deal from Larry Page, co-founder of Google. Their conversations weren't about technical details, but about expanding Musk's vision for the future of technology and space exploration. This guidance encouraged Musk to think beyond Tesla and dare to launch SpaceX. Similarly, Howard Schultz, former CEO of Starbucks, credited a longtime business advisor for helping him understand that Starbucks' success wasn't just about great coffee. It was about creating an exceptional customer experience. That insight became a guiding principle for Starbucks' global growth. A mentor doesn't just give you the answer to today's problem, they develop your ability to find answers for the challenges ahead. They may ask tough questions, force you to think deeper, or even reject a plan you're passionate about so you can spot its flaws before it's too late. Many poor people skip finding a mentor because they think, "I can learn on my own," or "I can't afford a coach." In reality, mentorship doesn't always cost money. You can start by reading books, attending free seminars, or contacting experienced professionals on LinkedIn. If you show initiative and a genuine desire to learn, some will gladly help without expecting payment. Personal tips. 1. Be clear on your goals before seeking a mentor. The ideal mentor is someone who has achieved what you want, under conditions similar to yours. 2. Ask high-quality questions. A mentor's job is not to answer everything, but to guide you toward the right questions. 3. Respect their time and value the relationship. Sustainable mentorship is built on mutual respect and the exchange of value. In short, a mentor is the guide who helps you avoid wrong turns and shows you the shortest route to success. The difference between those who move forward and those who remain stuck isn't how smart they are, it's whether they have someone who can turn ideas into reality. If you don't yet have a mentor, now is the best time to start looking. Number 2. The optimiser. If the mentor is your navigator, the optimiser is the maintenance engineer for your entire success engine. They help you move faster and ensure you don't burn out your motor. Poor people often optimize the wrong things, finding the cheapest bar to get drunk or the quickest, most affordable way to escape reality for a weekend. For them, optimization is a form of avoidance. But for successful people, optimization means removing friction, keeping themselves in peak condition to make big decisions and take meaningful action. Self-discipline alone is not enough. Even the most disciplined people can be worn down by small, invisible leaks in their system. Poor sleep, chronic stress, constant distractions. The optimizer is the one who detects these leaks before they cost you dearly. Their work is often quiet and behind the scenes, tracking your sleep quality, structuring your schedule to avoid conflicts, suggesting diet adjustments to maintain steady energy, or reminding you to rest before you burn out. You might overlook their value until a crisis hits and you're still standing strong. For example, Jeff Bezos has shared that he prioritizes 8 hours of sleep every night, no matter how packed his schedule is. This is made possible by personal discipline and a support team that optimizes his meeting calendar, nutrition, and exercise. Hence, his brain is always in top decision-making form. Similarly, LeBron James, one of the greatest basketball players ever, invests over $1 million a year in a team that optimizes his physical and mental performance, from personal trainers to recovery specialists. The key difference is this: an optimizer doesn't help you do more, they help you do better. They understand that 80% of results come from 20% of the right efforts. Their mission is to keep you focused on that 20%, rather than being dragged into dozens of urgent but meaningless tasks. Tips for finding the right optimizer. 1. Identify which area you need to optimize: physical, mental, work-related, or above. 2. Choose someone who can measure results, not just say you need more rest, but show you the data to prove it. 3. Trust the process and be patient. Real optimization often takes months before you see the difference. A great optimizer will also help you build a priority system. Instead of juggling 20 tasks at once and always feeling short on time, they'll help you focus on your top 3 and eliminate or delay the rest. This reduces stress and allows you to achieve better results with less wasted energy. Many people think optimization is a luxury reserved for CEOs or pro athletes. In reality, anyone can apply an optimizer's mindset, automate repetitive tasks, filter emails efficiently, or design a distraction-free work environment. You don't need to be rich to optimize, you optimize to become rich. Without an optimizer, you risk falling into the trap of working hard but moving slow. You start each day with a long to-do list, but end the week feeling like you've barely made progress. That's a clear sign your energy is scattered. In the end, the optimizer is like the brakes and stabilizer of a race car. They don't slow you down, they ensure you can accelerate when it matters and cross the finish line safely. Optimization isn't just an advantage in the long game, it's a requirement for lasting success. If you don't yet have an optimizer in your corner, start looking today, or play that role for yourself until you find the right one. Number 3. The connector. If the mentor helps you find direction and the optimizer keeps you at peak performance, the connector is the bridge that takes you to opportunities you could hardly reach on your own. Poor people often maintain a small, comfortable circle of friends. They chat about funny videos, daily happenings, or weekend plans. But these conversations rarely lead to new opportunities. Such relationships form a closed loop, pleasant but stagnant. The quality of your relationships directly reflects the quality of opportunities you receive. If you're in a network where success is the norm, you begin to believe success is possible and expected. Conversely, if your network is filled with people who only talk about struggles, you'll unconsciously limit your ambitions to match the environment. Harvard research shows that social network influence extends up to 3 degrees. You're affected not only by your friends, but also by your friends and even their friends. If someone in the third layer of your network increases their income, loses weight, or improves their happiness, your likelihood of doing the same also rises significantly. The connector is the person who expands and upgrades this network for you. They know who's doing what, who could work with whom, and who needs to meet each other. More importantly, they don't make casual introductions. They create strategic connections where both sides benefit. For example, Oprah Winfrey's success is due to her hosting talent and ability to connect with influential figures like Maya Angelou and Obama. These relationships brought collaboration opportunities and positioned Oprah at the center of a massive sphere of influence. A skilled connector can help you. 1. Open doors to opportunities you could never find alone. 2. Save time and reduce risk when meeting new people because they've already vouched for your credibility. 3. Gain access to insider information before it becomes public knowledge. To be introduced by a connector, you must offer something clear and valuable. No one wants to risk their reputation for someone whose skills or value are undefined. You should master at least one thing so well that it becomes your signature. How to become connector ready. 1. Build a clear personal brand. People should be able to introduce you in one short sentence. For example, she's a B2B marketing strategy expert. 2. Show tangible results. A clear achievement makes it easier for others to remember you when opportunities arise. 3. Maintain credibility and consistency. A connector will only introduce you repeatedly if past introductions have yielded positive outcomes. Another example is Reid Hoffman, co-founder of LinkedIn, known as the startup whisperer in Silicon Valley. He invests in startups and constantly connects founders with investors, tech experts, and top talent. Many of America's most successful startups in the past decade bear the fingerprints of connections Hoffman facilitated. A connector doesn't just open a door, it helps you walk into the right room. In many cases, the most significant opportunity of your life might stem from what seems like a random conversation, but in reality, it's been carefully orchestrated by a connector. In short, you need a connector to play at a bigger table. They don't just expand your network, they raise the standard of the people you interact with daily. And when the standard around you rises, so does your own. If you don't yet have a connector, clear your value. Because, as I firmly believe, a connector will only introduce you when they are proud to have their name associated with yours. Number 4. The right hand. There comes a stage in your journey to success when you realize you can't do it alone. At that point, having a right hand is no longer a luxury, it's a matter of survival. This person can handle work on your behalf, make decisions in your absence, and protect precious space in your schedule, so you can focus on the moves that truly create breakthroughs. Poor people are often surrounded by dependents who only take but never lighten the load. They consume your time with pointless meetings, drain your money with just this once requests, and sap your energy with recurring problems. The result? You're constantly busy, yet never can rise higher. A right hand isn't the best at everything. They are the person who understands you so profoundly that they can act almost exactly as you would when you're not there. To find someone like this, you must be willing to delegate and trust, something many early achievers struggle with, fearing they'll lose control. A great right hand will 1. Protect your focus, keeping you out of trivial matters so you can concentrate on strategy and critical decisions. 2. Act on your behalf, attending meetings, signing approvals, solving problems without your input on every detail. 3. Be fiercely loyal and committed long-term and place the shared mission above personal ego. For example, Warren Buffett often calls Charlie Munger his irreplaceable partner. Munger doesn't just help Buffett analyze investment opportunities, but also serves as a sharp counterbalance, ensuring Berkshire Hathaway stays aligned with its long-term vision. Buffett has said that his path would have been far less solid without Munger. A right hand often appears early in your journey before you have significant wealth or fame. That early phase allows them to understand how you think deeply, prioritize, and make decisions. This relationship is almost like a professional marriage. No legal contract is required, but it is built on long-term commitment and absolute trust. I've seen many entrepreneurs fail not because of bad ideas, but because they lacked someone to share the workload. They stayed trapped in the role of doing everything. Once overwhelmed, essential decisions were either delayed or made hastily. How to find and keep a right hand. 1. Look for someone who can solve problems independently without constant supervision. 2. Share your vision and values so they can align with your long-term direction. 3. Delegate with clarity. The vaguer you are, the more room there is for misunderstanding and mistrust. 4. Treat them fairly and recognize their contributions. Loyalty must be nurtured with respect and proper rewards. Another example. When Jeff Bezos was building Amazon, his trusted right hand was Jeff Wilke, who managed operations during the company's explosive growth. Wilke ensured processes ran smoothly so Bezos could focus on strategy and scaling. A right hand doesn't just save you time, it creates mental space. They give you room to think, rest, and recharge. Sometimes that means attending a meeting to spend time with family, or managing a crisis so you're not dragged into emotional turmoil. In short, the right hand is a blend of loyalty, autonomy, and a deep understanding of you. This isn't a role you can buy. Once you've already succeeded, they often have to be there from the start. And once you find the right person, keep them through appreciation and fair reward, because the right person in this role can be the difference between being good and becoming great. Number 5, the no man. On the path to success, there will come a point when you achieve such a streak of wins that you become overconfident. You start believing you're always right, that every decision you make will succeed. This is the most dangerous moment, when confidence outpaces reality, and that's precisely why you need the no man. The no man has 2 crucial jobs. 1. Protect yourself from others, from opportunists and enticing offers that are, in reality, full of risk. 2. Protect yourself, from impulsive choices, grand but unrealistic ventures, or moves that could undo everything you've built. Everyone needs someone who can speak bluntly, even if it stings. Their role isn't to kill ideas, but to ensure you're not swept away by emotions or the illusion of invincibility. The problem is, once you're successful, 99% of people around you become yes men. They agree, applaud, and cheer you on, either out of fear of upsetting you or because they want to preserve their benefit. Then there are the half-yes people, the maybe and worth a try types, seemingly neutral but just avoiding responsibility. Together, these voices create an echo chamber where you only hear what you want to hear. Take Steve Jobs, for example. Known for bold decisions, he also had team members who dared to say no to ideas that weren't ready. Those moments of pushback helped Apple avoid potential product flops and maintain its high standards. A skilled no man will. 1. Disagree based on data, not emotions. 2. Speak up, even knowing it might irritate you. 3. Have enough credibility and expertise for you to listen. 4. Know when to stand firm and when to step back. I've seen many American entrepreneurs lose millions because no one in their team dared to push back. When everyone nods, small mistakes can quickly snowball into major crises. How to find and keep a quality no-man. 1. Choose someone with independent thinking. They don't rely on your approval to feel secure. 2. Build trust. They need a safe environment to speak the truth. 3. Respect their opinion. Even when you disagree, if you react negatively every time they push back, they'll stay silent next time. 4. Track their results. Remember how many of their no's have saved you from mistakes. Another example, Mark Zuckerberg has Sheryl Sandberg, Facebook Meta's former COO, as his number 2. She wasn't afraid to challenge him, especially on governance and social impact issues, ensuring long-term stability over short-term wins. The no man is not a pessimist or a naysayer. They're often the realist, with a longer-term lens in certain areas. They help you spot blind spots that excitement can obscure, and sometimes one well-timed no can save you from losing years of hard work. Without a no man, you risk being pulled into the wrong opportunities, ones that drain precious resources and erode your competitive edge. The more successful you are, the higher your risk becomes, simply because you'll attract more offers. Not all of them will benefit you. In short, the no man is the emergency brake that keeps you from driving off a cliff just because you believe you're unstoppable. They're the thorn at your side, occasionally uncomfortable, but essential for keeping you sharp and safe. And like brakes on a car, you might not think about them every day, but when you need them, they're the one thing standing between you and disaster. If you don't have someone who dares to say no to you, now is the time to find one before the day comes when you desperately need them, and it's too late. The 5 types of people, the mentor, the optimizer, the connector, the right hand, and the no man, are the essential puzzle pieces the wealthy always have by their side, yet the poor often lack. Each plays a unique role, but together they form a network that protects, accelerates, and amplifies your success. Success is not a solo race. It's a strategic journey built with the right teammates and timely support. Without one of these 5 pieces, your path will likely be longer, more complex, and more uncertain. So ask yourself, who is missing from your network, and how will you start looking for them today? If you found this content valuable, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share so others can learn how to build their own winning team.